Today I'm in Ubud and I'm going to have a bit of a walk around, see what's going on, maybe have a bite to eat. Just check what the situation is today here. I've been here a little bit over the years, but just haven't really kept up to date with things. I'm at the soccer field right now, and if you remember the soccer field, it looks like that. But right next door, half the soccer field is now a car park. And from here, I'm going to walk up. I'm going to get that lime tart, which some of you know I love, at Casaluna, and explore generally what else is going on. Let's get stuck in. So the first thing is that shisha lounge that well, I think that was there for about 15 years. That's now closed, being renovated, changed into something else. Remember that library and learning centre there? You could go and get Indonesian language lessons there and stuff. That seems to be still going on. And then I remember on the corner up here was a cafe that I used to really love overlooking the soccer field. It used to be called Tutmak back in the day. I really loved it. It just had a bit of a special vibe for me. The food was always on point. You could get a great nasi campur there. But these days, there's a big sign saying no entry, dilarang masuk. Dilarang means it's forbidden to, and then masuk is enter. Yeah, so that's the story with that place. That's a bit sad really, because that was a really nice place, a good location as well. It lasted for a very long time, that cafe. The staff were magnificent. You know, things change, but it doesn't mean you can't reminisce and long for some of the old places that you used to love. I'm gonna just walk along here a little bit, get to the main road, and then walk straight up the main road, Jalan Monkey Forest, up to Jalan Raya Ubud, where the market is and the palace is. Aside from new places opening and old ones closing, it still feels quite similar to what it used to do. Like the footpaths are still the same. The road still feels the same. You can get your bearings in most parts of Ubud. There are some areas where there were rice fields that if you went there now, you'd feel a little bit out of place because you don't have those landmarks. But you know, remember the old primary school? That's still there. Remember Ibu Ray Bar and Restaurant? That's been there forever. A classic old style little restaurant. I love that. There are not that many of those places around anymore because a lot of the old places have sort of been replaced with more modern style places, sort of attracting the younger crowd, because the crowd here in Ubud these days is so much younger than it used to be. I remember it being sort of like mid-30s, 40s people, some young people, but hardly any. People that were dealing with midlife crisis or coming here for a bit of a healing. And well, it has changed a lot. It's a bit more of a trendy place to come to these days. So there are like burger joints, heaps of burger joints in this town for some reason. Heaps of coffee shops and cafes. Yeah, I mean, it changes the character of the place a little bit. I mean, it still feels pretty good, but it's just different to what it was. It's a lot busier, of course, with the traffic and so forth. This whole main road is no parking all the way along there. So the whole way along Jalan Monkey Forest, you aren't allowed to park your bike or your car, just like it is in Sanur nowadays. But what I noticed when I was coming up here is that almost for the whole way along, it was really just jam-packed, especially in the southern end, jam-packed with cars parked along the road, which I felt was a little bit sad that they're trying to come up with traffic mitigation solutions, and it's just not working because people are still parking when they're not supposed to. There are big signs everywhere that say don't park, but that never really stopped anyone, did it? Do you remember that Pandawa Music Centre? I certainly do. That place used to have like millions of CDs, and you could go and buy any CD from there, and they used to always have this music on that I remember. And at the time I always thought, oh, I love that Balinese music, and it was only sort of many years later that I found out that music actually doesn't even come from Bali, it comes from West Java. It's the one that goes That's the old market. So I'm now on the corner of Jalan Monkey Forest and Jalan Raya Ubud. The market's no longer a traditional market. So what used to happen with the market in the past is that in the morning up until about 8 o'clock, it was a traditional market selling all the fruit and veg and all the different meat and all that sort of stuff. Oh, there's Susan. She ran ahead to go to Casaluna, but I think she got lost and waited for me. Yeah, and so what it was a traditional market up until about 8 a.m. Where all the locals were there, and there was angkots or bemo out the front taking people back to their villages and so forth. And then in the afternoon it changed into more of an art market, but it still had the traditional market feel to it, and some of the traditional market was still accessible after 8 a.m. If you went down into the basement and so forth. It had a really special vibe to it that I really loved. But it's not like that anymore. The traditional market's gone and it has a really sterile vibe. The original one, they knocked it down, then it got burnt down, and then they redid it again. It doesn't feel very good. Not how it should be. It doesn't feel very organic, and it's not. It's a tourist attraction now, which is a little bit sad, really. A lot of those stall holders did get moved up to this road over here on the right. It's called Jalan Kajang, and that's a good little road to go up as well, which I've done a video before where I've walked up there, and I think I've done a couple of videos where I walk up there because it's one of my favourite roads. One thing I am noticing is that it's extremely busy, and it seems to be busy with tour groups which are walking up and down the main street, like big groups of like 100 or more people. I've seen a couple of them so far, and that seems a little bit weird as well. I know tour groups always used to come to the monkey forest and maybe going to the market, but they're sort of like wandering around town now in big mobs, and it's a bit weird. So we're just going to nick into this place here. It's called Casa Luna, and see what they've got for cakes and desserts and that sort of stuff. Absolutely love this place. I've been coming here since pretty early on from when it opened here. They were originally on Monkey Forest Road, I think, but I never went to that outlet. But I did come here pretty early on when it moved here, and it's always just been very good. It's quite well, all the flavours are bang on, and it has moved with the times a little bit, but they do have a real focus on selling you food which is flavoursome, which is sticks to normal traditions, doesn't try to be moving with trends or anything like that. So I like the key lime tart, or whatever they call it, the lime tart. They don't have any today. Unfortunately, they've sold out, which is a little bit sad, but I got another cake instead, and we'll give that a go. I'm sure it'll be nice. The other stuff that I've always had here has always been really good. From what they used to call the Honeymoon Bakery, I don't know if it's still there, probably is. They were doing their own breads and pastries and stuff. I think they probably still do it down on Jalan Bisma, which is where the Honeymoon Guest House is and that sort of stuff. It's quite good. It's a really good business, and it still, for me, stands out as something being quite... It fits the character of Ubud, the Ubud that I think still is here under the surface. So I got myself an iced latte and a lime and papaya meringue pie, which I'm hoping has some similarities to that lime tart. I mean, I know it's not the same, but I really want some of that tartness that you get from that lime tart. Let's check it out. Coffee first. Looks pretty good. I didn't get any sugar in it, so an iced coffee without sugar is going to be pretty plain, but I don't mind that. Oh, strong. Oh, that's good. That's a really good iced coffee. Today, we had a bit of rain earlier today, and the sun's not really out, so it's not as hot today, thankfully. We'll give this meringue a go. I'll show you what it looks like as I dig into it. So the meringue is a soft meringue, which is nice. No one likes one of those big, old-fashioned stiff meringues. And the inside is orange, so I don't know how the lime gets into that. It's amazing. That is, now this is sort of like my backup choice, and I'm thinking now that this is like, it says, well, I'm not going to say it's as good as the lime tart because it's not, but it's close. So the story is, if you come here, get the lime tart, but also get one of these too because it's so good, really good. Filling's a little bit like a curd really, but it's made out of papaya, and it's got that lime cutting straight through it. So papaya can, a lot of people don't like papaya, like Susan doesn't like papaya, but I know she's absolutely going to love this because that lime cutting through it just really makes it amazing. And the pastry is very soft. Well, that was interesting. What I find really interesting about it is that there's hardly any customers there anymore. It's a more traditional feel in there, but then you look at a place like I'm just passing now. It's called Nusa by Suka. A very modern place, more like a restaurant. Much more expensive. Like it's like for a pizza there, you're paying 145,000 plus. So it ends up being quite expensive, and not quite what you'd pay in Australia for a pizza, but not far off really. But it's packed. People love it. And that's what people want these days. They are not afraid to be paying pretty high prices for their food and drinks, which is a little bit different to the Bali that I first started coming to, which was more of a budget destination, and you were sort of looking for that cheap food but good local stuff as well. But it's moved a long way from that in a lot of areas. This more is like the Canggu direction, absolutely, in that regard. And well, that's just the way it is, isn't it? I'm old and these places aren't for me. That's okay. And that sort of goes to show how Bali adapts to different crowds as time goes on. So I'll just walk along the top road, Jalan Raya Ubud, just a little bit to show you what's going on. That place over there seems to be, well, not seems to be, it is destroyed. It's called, is that Ubud Gelato? That's gone. We're just coming past the market at the moment. There's a lot of construction going on in one part of the market. They don't have electricity at the moment, so there's generators running. Fairly unpleasant. I think it's going to start raining as well, which is a little bit unfortunate. But we'll keep pushing on because the rain is no barrier to making a good video, is it? All these market stalls are now seemingly on the main road. What? I don't mind that, actually. I don't mind that at all. It's sort of nice to get a bit of, I don't know, a bit of chaos, you know. This is Jalan Gautama. You'll remember that one. That used to be a fairly quiet road, but these days it's got a lot of businesses down there. In the past, it was really low key, but I've noticed over the past few years especially, like there's a lot of businesses popped up there, and it's more or less lined with businesses all the way along that street. A nice little street, honestly. Like there's not a lot of traffic can get down there, so it's always a little bit quiet. It's more like a walking street than most places in Ubud as well. I reckon this is more than likely just a bit of a local shower. In Indonesian, you'll say hujan lokal, which is the local rain, like a local shower. That's what it feels like to me. It doesn't feel like it's setting in for the day, but you never know. You got to be prepared for anything here. What I'll keep doing, this is Jalan Hanuman, which is the one that forms a loop with Monkey Forest Road. I'm going to skip that and keep going along the top road here because there's a few other roads that I'd like to explore. I don't just want to go down all the main roads and show you those. I want to show you some back streets too and see what's going on down there. Of course, after I go into this long diatribe about hujan lokal, you get a big tropical downpour, which is just sod's law, isn't it? You always find that when you think, oh, that's just a passing shower, it always seems to like come down in buckets. I'm going to keep moving along anyway because I don't mind getting a little bit wet, as long as it's not like torrential. It's not too bad, but I'm moving down further to the east along Jalan Raya Ubud, and I'm going to turn down the road. A lot of you might remember from a long time ago, the only nightlife there was in Ubud a long time ago was the Jazz Cafe, a place where there was jazz bands playing after about 9 o'clock, and the rest of the town had no activity after about 9 o'clock. All the restaurants closed, everyone went back to their rooms, and that was about it. Ubud's a different beast these days. There is live music everywhere, and you'll find that it's not one of those peaceful places as the night time comes like it used to be. Now that's just, again, moving with the times. It's not my preference, but you know, these things open up to cater towards these people that want this stuff. So who am I to say that it's not good? Because a lot of people love it. This end of Jalan Raya Ubud has historically been a bit quiet and not very touristy, and it's still the same. As you see, we're getting into the Desa Pliatan now, and that's where the boundary is there. The sort of Desa boundaries are different to the word Ubud. Ubud sort of covers a massive area, whereas the word Pliatan, it refers to the traditional village. Those boundaries between the traditional village and the common name of a place are endlessly confusing because people will refer to places interchangeably by what they're more familiar with. So they might say, oh, I'm in Ubud, but actually they're in Pliatan, or they might say, I'm in Pliatan, but you're in Ubud. And having a good understanding of what the local traditional villages are around a particular area really helps with understanding context when people say certain words. So I've now turned down Jalan Sukma Kusuma. It's a road that runs north-south, perpendicular to Jalan Raya Ubud, and it's a road that used to have the Jazz Cafe on it, doesn't anymore. And the road kind of looks like this, yeah? It's a road that can sort of fit one vehicle or one car along it, and then there's lots of motorbikes. It's one of those places that's sort of a blend between the old Ubud and a few new green shoots of tourism businesses here. and it makes a really good place to come and spend a little bit of time. For example, if you were going to come here for 6 months, you might walk up and down this road looking for a guest house or a homestay. So there are a lot of places along here that won't be on advertised online or on booking.com, and you could just walk in, have a look, see whether they've got the facilities you like, whether it's the price you want. They're like that, like Biang homestay. No idea what it's like, but if you did your legwork and had a look around, I'm sure you'd find something really good at a really good price. Look at the rain come down now. Absolutely getting done now. Wow, it's really one of those on and off days today. It was just bucketing down and then it just stopped. I'm probably going to get done again. It's on, off, on, off. We'll see how we go. I'm really liking it down here. A lot of these little coffee shops like that, that's called Coffee and Laundry. I really think that's pretty cool. A few more casual little coffee shops and cafes and warungs down here, which I kind of like. You know, would I stay here? Well, I could see myself staying in this sort of area for sure. Like, it's got a little bit of a feel to it, which I like. It's sort of happening a little bit more organically. It's not, I mean, obviously tourism businesses are after your money, but it's not so in your face, lowest common denominator stuff. What I like about this road is there's real local life going on. Like, there's a little mechanic shop there that's sort of going about its business. There's a person selling decorations to, traditional decorations there. There's a temple just here, but then you've got a place called Word Barley, which is seemingly a cafe, a very modern one. And it's that sort of blend between the traditional and these new businesses that I really like, rather than just being totally covered with all those new businesses. We do come to Bali for a reason. We want to see some of the real life as well, not just all the tourist stuff. And trying to bridge that somehow is difficult in a lot of places, because obviously once a place becomes popular, I mean, all the businesses want to open there, and they sometimes crowd out local, more traditional businesses, and I guess the cheaper places as well. But look at that, I mean, that's spectacular, isn't it, over there? That little temple over there. There's temples everywhere. There's another one over this way. I mean, just beautiful, beautiful Ubud the way we remember it. But then we see something like that, and I really don't like that. I mean, that for me is just an absolute eyesore when it comes to the styling and the character of Ubud. I mean, it's so modern, isn't it? And having such a modern building in a place like Ubud, not into it. Again, that's an unpopular opinion, I think, because I think something like that's going to be very popular. Like, that's just what's happening in Bali more in general. Like, people are really drawn to these big modern places these days. I've just turned right down Jalan Jatayu. This is a pretty interesting little road as well. If you've never been down here, it's a very short road connecting the road I've just been down, Sukma Kusuma, down to Jalan Hanuman eventually. It's a nice little connecting road. As you know, you see these around the place, these little connecting roads, and over time they do get some businesses on them. And one of them here is Warung Pondok Madu. I've been there a long time ago. That does really great ribs. Now, I don't know if it's still popular, but it used to be a really, really popular area. Now, the rain's coming down real hard again now. I'm getting done again. But if you like ribs, that is a real good one to give a go. Or it was. So we're just coming up this road to Jalan Sugriwa. That's that road up there, which runs parallel to Jalan Hanuman. Now, that's an important road as well, where a lot of, similar to the road I've just been on, Sukma Kusuma, it's got a lot of those sort of businesses which are a little bit more modern, but a bit low key, and mixed in with local businesses as well. Just turn left up there. No thanks, mate. I love the rain. I love the rain. Just getting off in a raincoat by a guy. Udah basah. Yeah, just turning left up Sugriwa, and then that'll take us to Jalan Hanuman finally. So I mean, it's quite interesting, these back streets. I actually don't want to get wet, but in Bali I don't mind it as much because it's not cold. Like, it's not really that uncomfortable as long as your shoes aren't sort of filled with water, which mine aren't. I'm actually going around the corner to Jalan Monkey Forest, not far from here. I'll go down the bottom, down to Monkey Forest, and then up Jalan Monkey Forest, meeting up with a person in a restaurant around there. And With that said, I might leave it there and say thank you for coming along for the ride today on this wet day here in Ubud. It started off great, ended up drenched. Thanks for coming with me today, and thanks for watching. Thanks to all the members who have recently joined up. Really appreciate your support. It's members like you that really help make this sort of content possible. Make sure you hit that subscribe button to keep up to date with all things Sanur, Ubud, Bali, the rest of Indonesia. I'll catch you next time, and sampai jumpa.